iHeart Podcasts. Hear more Gold 101.7 podcasts.
Playlists and listen live on the free iHeart app.
Everybody, it's time for Jonesy and Amanda's Cutting Room Floor. Everybody, it's time for Jonesy and Amanda's Cutting Room Floor. It's the Cutting Room Floor. It's Jonesy and Amanda's It's Jonesy and Amanda's Cutting Room Floor. The Cutting Room Floor. It's the Cutting Room Floor.
On the cutting room floor today.
Do you know what's worse than a gender reveal? And I mean an actual party gender reveal, not, hey, a baby comes out and you go, look at its genitals, it's a boy or a girl or whatever you'd like it to be.
Back in my day, that's what a gender reveal was.
Yeah.
You saw the head crowning, there's your gender.
I saw someone saying I went to a gender reveal party. They weren't happy that I walked in the nude.
No,
You know what's worse than
I
a
got no
gender
time.
reveal party?
What is worse than a gender reveal party?
A gender reveal party that doesn't end up being a gender reveal party.
Oh, what's happened there?
Well, I'll tell you more in a minute.
Did a mother-in-law
But
ruin it?
Aren't we sick of gender reveals? They are
Yeah.
ridiculous. The bigger, the better, the stupider,
Yep.
And also they've started forest fires in America. All kinds of things have got out of hand with cars backfiring and all kinds of
I
things.
wonder when it all started, the gender reveal.
Well, it's all Instagram.
Because we just accept it now,
it's
don't
all
we?
social media. It's nothing is real until you've told your story.
Yeah.
But I saw one the other day. They've amassed a group of friends and they're having a gender reveal and they drag it out. And then at the last minute, well, I'll have a listen to what happens and then there's someone commenting at the end.
Right.
I know it's gonna be a surprise! We decided we're gonna wait until birthday.
Oh, okay. Look, I don't particularly care what you have, but if you've dragged me out to a party like this, we are going to find out what it is tonight.
We're going to
how
find
that's
that
gonna
baby.
I
Yeah.
remember a friend of mine went to, she heard, in our day, it wasn't that easy to find out,
Yeah.
if you to have these genetic tests and things. So she had read that if you add your urine to some ammonia,
Yeah.
if it turns a certain colour, it means you're having a boy. If it goes a different colour, it means you're having a girl. What you're supposed to do is put a few drops of ammonia into some of your urine.
Right.
She squatted over an ice cream container filled with ammonia and weed in it, and there was an explosion. She had to go to the doctor, and and she'd burnt herself.
Yeah, of course.
And the doctor, when she told the doctor what had happened, he said, I don't know if you're having a boy or a girl, but it will be bald. Because she'd singed everything.
You never saw that on the Curiosity Show? I would have liked to seen that experiment. Wow, that's...
But as you say,
Yeah.
I've come to see a diving act. I want to seize me a
yeah,
diving
you
act.
do. And this is the
couple knew what they were having, by the way,
Yeah.
in that story. They knew what they were having. They just waited till the last minute and said, we're not going to tell you. I would have thrown a pie in their face. As I said, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But these theatrics have now twisted back on themselves.
I'm a grandson now. They told
You're
me...
a grandson?
I'm a grandfather, but I'm also a grandson. No, I'm not, because all my grandparents are dead. Does that still matter? Anyway.
I think you're still a grandson.
Yeah, I'm still... Yeah.
For not to living grandparents.
Well, my kids had their little baby. They told us we were having a boy. My wife and I were quite, hang on a minute.
So very early on you knew.
Yeah, but they didn't tell me his name. So you eked out a little bit there.
Because you want to, this is how I feel, rather than just, hey, yeah, Jethro arrived this morning and you knew you were going to have a boy, you knew it was going to be Jethro and all of that. I like the element of surprise. And also it got me through the labour. Though having said that, towards the end I thought, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a cat. Get it out.
Oh, if it's a Jethro, I'll take it.
Get it out.
I feel like I'm on death row with Jethro. It's curious though, but I would rather a gender reveal than one of those kooky bride and groom dances, those Bollywood dances. What do you think? What would you rather?
Oh, or even now that the parents dance.
Oh.
Have you seen all that stuff?
Yeah.
And those first looks where the groom turns around and it's his mate in a wedding dress.
Oh,
and then they pash.
My daughter's getting married next year.
Is she going to do any of that stuff?
At the zoo. And I tell you what, if any of that goes on, it won't be just the monkeys throwing feces.
There goes Jethro.
Hey, everybody, it's time for
Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor.
On the cutting room floor,
Brendan, you and I hold 2 world records.
we do longest underwater broadcast and the biggest yum cha feast.
This side of anywhere.
Was it the most people eating yum cha at one time?
That one was almost harder than the first one.
Yeah.
The first one, we had to do our radio show underwater at the Sydney Aquarium in the shark tank.
Yep.
That was really hard.
And
But
we were in sharks, 3.5 hours underwater.
I had to wee in the tank.
You did that out of the tank, so that wasn't really a big
that's
deal.
right. That's right.
The second one
But
was...
the Yum Cha one, we got a whole lot of people down. It was Chinese New Year, whole lot of people down to Darling Harbour in Sydney. And all they had to do was sample, they had to sit down at a table and sample 2 different dumplings. That's all that had to happen. These
They had
people
3 dumplings and they had to eat 2 of the 3.
2 of the 3. And they'd registered to do it. We didn't drag people off the streets. They'd registered to do it. And yet we almost didn't get the world record because people refused to sit down. People would eat 1 dumpling and not 2. People ran away with all the table decorations.
Who just eats 1 dumpling?
Who says I'm going to go to Yum Cha and you're told 4 or 5 times, can you eat 2 dumplings? Because the person from Guinness World Records is there.
Yeah.
They had to verify it. We only just scraped by. Had thousands of people, but only just scraped by.
We had an overflow for idiots and literally there was 10 idiots there that couldn't eat more than 1 dumpling. I just find that extraordinary.
Why register and then refuse to eat
You
them?
get me to a yum cha and it's like doom, 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 like a machine.
Well, what about this? An Australian woman, would you do this one? Australian woman has completed a Guinness World Record by doing 7,079 pull-ups in 24 hours.
That's a chin up, isn't it?
Let me have a look. What's a pull-up? It doesn't explain. Is that a chin-up but from inside? I mean, your knuckles face you?
Yeah, you can do them. There's names from extreme dudes say that's a blah, blah pull up and that's a blah. I think chin up and pull up is the same.
Is it? What's the one where you hold the bar and your knuckles are facing away from you?
Yeah, I think that's a
chin
pull up. Because isn't it a chin up? You get your chin up on the bar.
You don't put your head over the bar and go,
Well, yeah, people with small chins. You know,
well, Bob Carr couldn't have done
Jeff
it.
McMullen.
They couldn't have done it.
They'd be good
But
at
what
it.
about...
Because they wouldn't get stuck.
Oh, but Lionel
So,
Richie, he'd swing.
I'd
He
be-
could be hands-free, just swinging.
Lionel and Chris Brown.
Yeah.
They'd be, oh, what's happened? You're stuck there, mate.
Yeah.
We'll have to come and lift you up because you're stuck.
Well, let me
on
give
the
you the
bar.
details as to how long it took. She's an Australian fitness enthusiast. She's 34 years old.
Of course she is.
She was looking for a challenge, and her husband, who's also her coach, said, why didn't she attempt the most pull-ups in 24 hours for a female?
Yep.
It doesn't say how long it took her to do it.
What's it, 24 hours?
Oh, well, she had to do it in 24 hours. So I guess she kept going for 24 hours. You know, I've been in a pull-up for 24 hours when I had to cross county lines chasing that astronaut. And Chris Brown was there too. No, it wasn't.
Why
no,
would
it
he
wasn't.
be?
It was Lionel Richie.
Of course.
Yeah, it's Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, it's Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, it's Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor.
On the cutting room floor, let's talk about AI. I have a vested interest in this because my son is doing AI at university.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, see,
And-
he'll be employed while the rest of us will lose our jobs to AI.
Yeah.
That's the irony. You'll lose your job to the work he's doing.
Well, yes and no. I don't know. It's like the Luddites didn't like the weaving loom back in the 1700s.
Are you going back to weaving?
I'm going back to the weaving loom. The weaving loom did put a lot of people out of work, but at the same time, it opened up new industries. Clothing was made cheaper and more quickly, and so you had more manufacturers.
So Sports Girl was born.
That's our Lowe's and Sports Girl. They wouldn't be here today without that. So really,
So we have to think laterally about how we're going to survive AI.
Exactly. Having said that, though, there's a lot of apps at the moment. I don't know if you've seen this one. There's one app where you can make a picture of yourself and you can turn yourself into a hot model, like a real hot, sexy
See, do
model.
people use these to catfish people?
Well, there lies the question. So when you get the ad on your Instagram, and no doubt now that we're talking about it, it's going to pop up on your phone.
But I'm already a hot model.
Of course, you don't need any.
I don't
AI.
need any. People think I am AI just when I put my rough head holiday photos.
No pixels needed.
No.
But this is one on Instagram, kissing your crush with AI.
The crutch.
Your crush.
So I could get an image of me pashing off Henry Cavill,
Yep.
Sam Hewen from Outlander.
Yep. So you got a picture of yourself and you put a picture of my crush, either Cavill or Hewen, any of those people, and bang. And then within a few moments.
You're kidding. That would be my screensaver, but you can see how that's going to get in trouble.
Oh.
You can also see how celebrities will use that saying, oh, it wasn't me. It was AI.
Hugh Grant is saying, back here, that wasn't me.
AI wasn't invented then. I know, but it was so,
that
I
was
don't know how, it was Divine Brown was an early adopter.
That was so long ago that artist's impressions.
That's right. It's on a cave wall.
It was impressionist painting. But it does make a interesting chat because over in New Zealand, a politician deep-faked herself in the nude and held it up in front of Parliament. So Laura McClure, who is in the New Zealand Parliament there, she stood up in front of everyone and held up a fake picture of herself in the nude, and even that was confronting. So it could have
And she made that up.
Yep, she made it up, and by
to
her
say
account,
what, to say who wants to have it off with me. No, to say it was to say
She
this is how
bypassed
easy
Tinder.
it is.
yeah, this is how easy it is. And a quick look on Google, easy peasy.
So I could do it to you. Although why would I? Because you appeared in the full Monty.
Yeah,
You've done it to yourself.
It does beg the question: if you had a picture of, what would you rather, a picture of yourself nude or yourself AI nude?
Oh, what do you think? Who would choose their actual nude? Most people posing nude would be using filters and all kinds of
Yeah.
Kardashian-esque things anyway.
Yeah.
No one's going to put up raw footage of themselves bending over in the nude.
Yeah.
No one's going to do that. Though occasionally, I don't know what my algorithm's doing. I'll occasionally get this woman, and they're big women and they're dressed in really provocative ways, and they're saying, hey, I've got a hairy area. Are you interested?
I'm getting that too.
Yeah.
Why?
Because out of fascination, we've watched it once and now we're getting them.
I didn't even watch the hairy area.
Yeah. But they're clothed.
Yeah.
But someone's saying, you interested in me? And it'd be a woman who's like 70 shimmying around. So there is still, this is what's interesting too. This is why those magazines, Readers' Wives, went off in England. So popular. Because yes, you can get Penthouse and Knave and all that stuff you like.
Knave.
But
What do you mean?
but there used to be a whole lot of things, just neighbours' wives was always more interesting than someone perfect. That probably has changed now because young men have never seen actual bodies, have never seen imperfections. Whereas in those days, you thought, I am attracted to reality. I wonder if neighbours' wives, girl next door, kind of straddling the laundry basket photographs are popular anymore. Maybe they're not.
Obtainable. But then what about in places like Namibia or somewhere like that where they didn't wear many clothes? How would everything's on display?
I know, but it's not sexual.
Yeah, so maybe we've over-sexualized ourselves by being so clothed.
Oh, it is. We're hugely repressed. Of course we are. The church has done that. Our history has done that.
Yep.
Hugely sexually repressed. And the countries that aren't like the Scandinavian countries, they're not running around in the nude. They've just managed to temper themselves.
But what do you think about nudists at those nudist resorts?
Well,
and
have you
stuff?
seen them? See, they're not AI bodies.
No,
They're normal-looking people.
But why do they not feel sexually excited about seeing a fellow nudist?
Yeah.
How do they know when it's business time and it's not business
Well, I
time?
think you're not allowed. You walk around with a cold spoon and go doink if someone thinks it's business time. I don't think you're allowed to have business time.
So you just go and play
There are
volleyball instead.
There are still rules about business time. You hang your coat on it and move along. But why would you have a coat? Therein lies the problem. Maybe an umbrella. I love our chats.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Jonesy and Amanda's got room for. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
On the cutting room floor today,
Sorry, I've just knocked over my coffee cup.
we'll clean it up. You got a Wetex?
A Wetex.
A Wetex.
Get a Wetex.
Do they still have Wetexes?
Is Wetex a brand? Is it like Hoover? I've got a friend who still says I did the Hoovering.
Yeah.
Hoover is a brand,
Yeah, Wetex is a brand.
as is Band-Aid. Band-Aid's a brand. That's become part of the parlance.
And then you've got
Is
Elastoplast.
Parlance a brand?
The Parlance, that's another brand. Because Elastoplast, they're a brand.
Yeah. Well, what would you say, sticking plaster, if you didn't want to mention a brand?
That's what you do. It's like people that say a tannoy.
What do they mean?
Well, tannoy is just a brand of speaker. So you would say a PA. That's more over in England. They say tannoy on the anyway.
Anyway,
Yep.
I had a look at this, and I'll tell you why I was looking it up, what you get for a 7th wedding anniversary or 7th anniversary.
Okay.
You get copper. I'll get you for that. You don't get arrested. You get copper.
Yep.
Or you get wool.
Okay.
This woman got E. coli.
Oh.
I'll tell you what happened. She's had a 7-year E. coli infection, and do you know how she got it?
How?
She had had an injury to her ankle, so she was bedridden. She was lying in bed recovering from knee surgery, it was.
Yep.
And she was staying in 2 single beds because she was staying at a hotel after her hospital stay. Her boyfriend was getting changed. He bent over in front of her. He had no clothes on. He didn't do it intentionally, but he unleashed the most toxic flatulence that she'd ever smelled.
Hang on, he didn't do it intentionally.
No, he didn't. He was bending over to get changed.
Yeah, right, okay.
And she said that he was not clothed, standing between 2 beds. His butt was facing me. And then the fart happened, she said. What has happened is for 7 years, she has been battling sinus infections. She didn't connect it or any of the ensuing health issues to that incident until doctors took a culture sample 7 years later from her nose. She said she felt terrible. She felt she couldn't breathe, all of this sort of stuff.
Mm.
And so they took a sample and found that in her nose there was E. coli. And E. coli infections happen when you ingest bacteria from poop, as they say here. Bits of poop that are too small to see, whether through contaminating foods with your hands, whether it could be drinks, touching germ-laden surfaces, not washing your hands properly. But she said you don't usually get E. coli in your sinuses because it's from poop. So she said she remembered that her boyfriend used to fart so disgustingly. She remembered the incident because she couldn't get out of the way because her knee made her immobilized.
Right, okay.
So she said she was forced to inhale it because of her surgery. So that's what's happened. Forget your 7-year itch.
Yep.
She has got a 7-year E. coli infection from his fart.
Happy anniversary, baby. He got you on your mind. Tell me something.
That must have been a beauty for her to remember it.
Are they still together?
I think so.
Oh.
But for her to remember it 7 years later when the
come on,
doctor said, how would you get a coli in your nose? She said, you know how? I'll tell you when. I was
She's
lying
a
in
woman.
bed. He bent over.
She will remember every part of that relationship.
Well, if you want to remember your partner's farts, you'll have to keep a chart.
This is because you farted in my face. If that was the case, I would have got a coli years ago because I've got a younger brother and that's all we ever did when we were kids was store one up and then go in and fart in their face. That's what you do. So,
when someone was asleep?
Yeah, it didn't matter. They could be sitting on the lounge. It was a common thing.
And so you'd run up. Would you keep your pants on?
Yeah, usually clothed. But there'd be a couple of times you come out of the shower. Then one time.
One time what? What happened?
One time there was the catapult incident.
What's that?
So I ran out of the shower and he was there.
And you were going to blast wind in his face?
He was not in his face because he was standing up. And I ran
You're not
out.
that good.
I ran out.
Please continue. Come on, Brendan. You've got your hand over your face. Keep talking. What? You fresh out of the shower.
Fresh out of the shower.
He's standing up.
I'm standing up.
You run out.
And I've run out. And I've done a kung fu kick. Because this is around the time where everyone was kung fu fighting. I've done a kung fu.
nude kung fu kick.
And I've gone. And out came, we called it the catapult, a perfectly rounded poo. And it landed on his foot. And he had an involuntary reaction and kicked it. And it stuck to the wall. And
There's nothing about that story that's pleasurable. Nothing.
It was like it had the consistency of clay going onto a potter's wheel. So it was just a round
It
ball.
looked like you'd stuccoed the wall.
It looked like somebody just put a round ball of...
So it went from your bottom to his foot to the wall. And who got it off the wall?
Well, I had to, obviously. Because he was in there soaking his foot in the sink.
Soaking his foot in a vat of acid, I'm sure.
So, in your face, lady.
In your face, indeed. This has taken a very dark turn, and I thought it started pretty badly.
Hey, 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 everybody, here is some more of Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Hey, 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 everybody, here is some more of Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor.
On the cutting room floor today. What about Easter egg hunts? Do you ever get a part of those?
When the kids were little, I used to do it. The dog used to occasionally beat them to it. Mm-hmm. But I liked hiding chocolate eggs. My son Jack has a savoury tooth and he was obsessed with sushi. And he said, can we have a sushi hunt?
Yeah.
Imagine if I couldn't remember where I'd hidden them all from 1 year to the next.
Neighbourhood cats from here to breakfast.
Yeah.
1 year Halloween, I couldn't be bothered. My youngest Dominic wanted to do Halloween. I said I couldn't be bothered taking him around to house. So I set up a thing that Pirate Pete had been around and he'd put all lollies around the backyard. I did that. And then he expected it every year.
So rather than going house to house, you just hid lollies in your own backyard?
Yeah, then I had to get like a treasure map and do all that junk.
That sounds like harder work than just letting him go house to house.
Yeah, in the end, I just got a treasure map and just gave a pile of lollies and they go, there you go, mate.
Yeah, it's over there.
There it is. It's just there.
Have a listen to this American family. I saw this the other day. This is a room filled with cousins. There's probably 30 people in this room, and this is what's happening.
Every single year for Easter egg hunt, my grandma rolls and hides $3,000 bills and hides it on her property. So here's a glimpse into what this day looks like.
Right, so it's just chaos.
Chaos. So there's 3,000 $1 bills all wrapped up in tiny little scrolls. They're placed on trees. They're placed in garden beds. They're placed on steps. And the cousins just all go crazy.
Yeah.
And they all put them in a plastic bag. Looks like they've got all these little rolled up cigarettes in these little plastic bags. And they come back to the table and count them to see if there's still 100 left out there. But the grandson who got the most got $150.
Right.
Other people got $70. But it's this frenzy. They all go and visit grandma because they get money. And people found old rotten ones from the year before that hadn't been found but was all destroyed by snails and things.
Yeah, right. I kind of like it. I think it's nice.
I can't tell whether it's nice or whether it...
What don't you like about it?
Well, it's how often would that many, maybe this is why, how often would that many cousins go and visit grandma?
Exactly.
And it just seemed to be greedy, them all running around and trying to find it. But maybe if they like it, she likes it.
Sure.
It's a lot of trouble to go to get $50.
It's hard for grandparents these days to see their grandkids. So sometimes you got to, pay the piper.
She should have just tried to shoot them while they were running around.
You greedy bastard.
When we used to visit my grandparents, I used to love visiting them. But one of the great benefits, every time we ran into the house, there'd be a packet of chips on the table. Samboy chips.
Yum.
They were in Brisbane, a packet of Samboy chips on the table every time. It makes my heart sing to think of it.
My grandma in Bendigo, when we used to go
Didn't
down...
she put a ferret down your pants?
Oh, well, Granddad used to take us ferreting. So he'd go...
Happy Easter, boys.
He'd go and hire a ferret from the local ferreter.
He'd hire one.
You could hire a ferret because you don't want to keep them because they're a bit of a mongrel.
Oh, so they run down into the tunnels and bring up the rabbits.
So you get a net at the end of one end of the burrow and the ferret goes down into the warren and the rabbits come flying out and they go into the net. Then Granddad would sit there with his penknife and he'd bonk the rabbit over the head, stun it, and then he'd grab it by the ears and cut its neck.
In front of you.
Yeah.
In front of you.
And then this is all in one movement. That cut the throat, then gut the whole rabbit, rip the pelt off, and throw the pelt at us.
So he'd skin it and throw the fur at you.
Yep.
And what would you do with it? Kick it like a football?
We're city boys. We'd go, okay, thanks, Granddad. There you go, boys. Stop mucking around. But he also used to work at an abattoir. So we'd watch him kill 100 sheep in the old school way, not with that fancy electric bolt thing, but with a knife. And he'd kill about 100 of them and go, let's go eat, boys.
Wow.
But that was my granddad.
And what about your grandma?
My grandma, with the Skippy cornflakes, and have the crazy critters inside. Remember them?
I love the crazy critters.
And she'd collect all of those because Dad never ate Skippy cornflakes. He was a cornflakes guy. So in Sydney, we'd never have cornflakes. And then
he never ate them because he was a cornflakes guy.
Sorry, Dad was a cornflakes guy. Skippy cornflakes were different. Do you remember? There's Kellogg's cornflakes, Skippy cornflakes.
They're not the same? They don't taste the same?
No, they're totally different.
Okay.
Skippy cornflakes were made by Sanitarium.
And had it also.
Yeah, well, Sanitarium, Will and John Kellogg were both brothers but mortal enemies. And they both invented cornflakes together. And they split up. One formed Sanitarium, the other formed Kellogg's.
And both released a cornflake.
They both invented the cornflake, but Skippy cornflakes had a distinct different taste to Kellogg's cornflakes.
Which did you prefer?
I kind of like the Skippy cornflakes, but I think I was in it for the crazy critter.
Yeah, we used to get crazy critters. They weren't just in Skippy. They were in other things, weren't
No,
they?
I think pretty sure it was Skippy cornflakes.
Okay.
And Grandma used to collect them.
And would you and your brother fight over it? Is this where this story's going? Into some terrible domestic
we were
fight?
quite reasonable about that.
Were you?
Yeah,
While you were catching animal pelts
and we wouldn't
in the
take them
backyard?
home. We'd keep them at Grandma's house.
Oh.
Yeah. So whenever we went round to Grandma's house.
You catch a pelt and you get a little plastic token.
Yeah, they were good times.
Good times.
Then off to the abattoir,
Yeah,
boys.
yeah, none of this finding a $100 bill anywhere. None of that.
Who's hungry?
Okay, kids, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow for more of Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor.